We'll let a couple more people come through as I swipe through all you pretty faces. Hello, I'm Jen from Impress Art. Thank you for joining us. I'm in my house, and I'll be with the lovely Rita, and I'll showcase her in a couple of seconds. But today I just want to welcome you guys, whether you're new or you've been with us for the summer / the fall and you want to advance your skills. Today, Rita will be teaching how to do a Southwest Mandala pattern on a tapered cuff bracelet. And she's going to teach you how you can use our stamp guides to make a pattern that's uniquely yours, and it would pair nicely with the cowboy boots, some fringe, and it will make a statement wherever you go. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat, and I will try to answer them to the best of my abilities. And if I do miss anything and the class ends, feel free to follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, and we can answer that question for you. So without further ado, I am going to throw it to Rita for her to introduce herself. And then we can get the class started, because I know a lot of you are excited.
Hi, guys. I see some faces. See Kathy, Debbie. I know Ruth is turning in. I see Jill. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Rita Panula. I am the design director for Impress Art, and today we have a little bit more of an advanced class. We're going to work with copper, which is a harder metal. If you are a beginner, you could still take this class. I suggest using a aluminum bracelet if you have one handy. We're going to use the round clear sticker guide from the sticker guide book, your bracelet bending bar, your bracelet bending plier, and the tapered aluminum cup with the Southwest Mandala pattern. Oh, long day. So without further ado, this is kind of instruction intensive, I guess. So I'm going to turn my camera around to my block and get you guys set up. So I'm going to throw this back to Jen so she could talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, so while Rita's set up, I just want to let you guys know that we do our own Facebook Lives every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Tuesday, Thursday, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can come over to our Facebook page and watch Rita inspire and teach more projects that we have lined up for the holiday season. Also, don't forget, you can always DM us or leave a comment for us to answer any questions that you may have. We're here to help you on your hand stamping journey, and we know you will love hand stamping as much as we do. So, Rita, I don't know if Rita's ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we don't have any thumbs up or hearts, but if you guys are ready and have your camera on, give me some thumbs up. A lot of you have your camera on today. Perfect.
All right, so right here, I got the thumbs up from Linda.
Woo!
And Lisa and Lady. Hi, Ladybug.
Give us a thumbs up, Debbie.
All right, so this is the project today, guys. It is a tapered 6-inch cuff bracelet. All right, and we're going to use, I know we haven't played around with the colored enamel, so we're going to do that today. Okay, we're also going to use our clear sticker guides that come in your sticker guide book. And that's that book that looks like this. Okay, it's your stamp guides book. It's going to be those round ones. All right, let's see. So the first thing we're going to do is I always like to pull my Mandala stamps out of my pack, and I always make sure that the impressions are facing upward. Okay, so it makes it easier for me to grab, and I know that I'm stamping in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to take these and just put them on my non-dominant side. And I know if you've taken a class with me before, or you've heard on the Facebook Lives, I always put my stamps on my left. I'm a righty, so my hammer, always on my right side. My stamps, always on my left. The last thing you want to do with metal stamping is line up with your dominant hand, then switch, then pick up your hammer. So remember, your stamp always goes in your non-dominant hand and your hammer is always in your dominant hand. So we're just going to get used to hitting that bracelet, hitting a blank a couple of times. So if you have a scrap piece that's hanging around, and I'm going to use one of my aluminum, I just want you to take your stamp, just press it into that metal, firmly anchor your hand, and give it one hit, okay? And I just want you to get comfortable with the hammer. So I'm going to take every one of my impressions of my stamp and make an impression with them. And I think I am, yep, I have everything here. Okay, so if you could see that, we have a eyelash stamp, okay? We have a diamond pattern, a stepped mountain, and we have a flourish or a leaf, all right? Now, these are very prominent symbols in Native American jewelry, and we are just gonna do simple patterns today. So we're going to start with your center. Now, copper is a harder metal, so you're going to have to give it a little bit more of a heavier hit when you are stamping with it. You're going to pull the plastic coating off the top of your bracelet. So let's do that now. And I'm always going to turn, when I'm using my bracelets, I always turn my block into a diamond pattern in front of me. Okay, it sits, gives you more surface space to stamp, and your bracelet fits perfectly. The next step is you're just going to take a little ruler, lay it across your bracelet, and find your center. So it's a 6-inch bracelet, and I'm going to mark it at 3 inches, okay? And you can use a Sharpie marker for this. Once you have it marked, what I want you to do is just take your ruler and draw a line down the center, okay? Then we are going to take our sticker guide, peel it off, and see that orange line that runs through the center? We're going to line that up. So it looks just like that. Okay? And place it on your block and secure that sticker to your steel block. Angie says that she's late, but she made it. Welcome, Angie.
You're just in time.
Just in time, Angie, just in time. Okay, so sometimes you get little air bubbles in there. Feel free to take a little needle, a pin, and just pop that air bubble, making sure not to scratch your metal or any kind of hard surface, and just score it a little bit so that air bubble is completely out. Okay, we're gonna start our pattern with our diamond shape, and that's gonna be in the center. You wanna make sure that the impress art on that shank is facing you, okay? So you're gonna come in, and I'm gonna pull this down a little bit so you can see it a little bit more, okay? And you are gonna find your center, and that's in the middle of all those lines where they all connect in the center. You're going to place your stamp, making sure that it's centered. Now, if you're having problems lining it up, and I've told you guys in the past, if this is your first time, you could always take your Sharpie and mark the center of your stamp. Okay? So I'm going to take it, place it down, look all around it, making sure that I am nice and even. I'm going to press down on my stamp, take my hammer, and give it a nice hit. And there is my first impression. So you're basically stamping over your sticker guide, okay? So you're going to have to give it a nice heavy hit. If you're having problems getting an impression in it and you don't see it, what I want you to do is find your center again, okay? Take your hammer. Let me pull this up a little bit. Okay, and you're going to hit it dead on. Then bring the stamp towards you, away from you, side and side, back to the center. And that's going to make sure that you have a nice and even impression throughout. Okay, so if you're not getting it on the first hit, if you're not getting a nice and even impression, definitely use that tilt and tap technique.
Rita, we have a message from Ladybug XO, which I believe is Carly.
Yes, Carly.
Rita, how do you line up a stamp that is smaller than the surrounding area of the shank? Do you mark both sides with Sharpie? Or will the middle line suffice finding the middle of the stamp?
You could, well, that's like a period stamp. Is that what you're talking about? Something like that? Because usually the stamps take up the whole head. Like that impression on there is the whole size of the head. Yes, like a period. Carly, what I think that, you know, so unless the stamp is tapered, so this is the period stamp that Carly's talking about, okay? And this is where doing this on a phone kind of gets a little weird. What I suggest doing is you always want to be sitting upright. Take the chair that you're sitting in, push it back a little bit so your butt's kind of sticking out, and really get down eye level to where your stamp is, okay? And it'll be easier for you to find your center that way, because you're actually, instead of looking at it from an angle from being up here and sitting down, you're down lower. So it's easier to see it. Does that make any sense? Yes?
Yep,
Okay.
got it.
So really just getting down low and looking around your stamp and looking at the bottom of your impression, because you can see, if you take a peek, once it's down there, you can take a look and see that, you know, where that is laying. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is our feather. Now these I strongly suggest marking, okay, and mine was already marked, but I'm going to put a new line on it. And what you want to do with these is you want to make sure that your stamp is covering the tip of your last impression. So here is where my last impression ended, okay? I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to make sure that it's on that black line, lines up, but that my stamp is covering the tip of that impression. Can everybody see that? Jen, is that a little too dark?
Move it towards the camera a little bit until you're right, to your right a little bit. There you go.
So it's covering the tip of that diamond. Okay. So when you're going to line that up, covering the top half of the tip of the last impression you stamped. You're going to hit it once, bring it front, back, side, side. And your stamp should rest right on top of the last diamond impression you stamped.
Are you inside that first ring on the stamp guide?
So yes, you're inside the first ring. It's kind of hard to see, I think, with the sticker guide on it. So then you're going to turn your block. Place your stamp down, again, inside that first circle, covering that line, covering the tip, the edge of that diamond. Hit it once. And tilt and tap it. And there you have, there we go. And then you're going to continue, turn your block again. So you're inside the center circle. Now your flourish stamp has covered each line, each other line that's in a cross pattern. So I'm going to do it on this. It's kind of hard to see it on the sticker. So here is your diamond. Here's a flourish, a flourish, a flourish, and another flourish. So now we're going to go in and we're going to use the 6mm stepped out stamp. That looks like that. Okay, and that stamp we're going to use right here. So I'll draw it really quick so you guys could see where it's going. I am not a good, trying my best here.
Looks good here. Would you recommend sketching out a mandala pattern before stamping?
For beginners, yes. Once you know your tools, you learn your tools, you're not going to need to sketch it out. All right. So I'm going to come in with my center, mark my center. Now with this, you're going to make sure that your stepped out pattern is between your black line, my black line, that center line, and in between the third line. So my center is my first line, my second line is the middle line, the third line. So you're going to bring that right in between that black mark, that black line on your stamp should be right in between both of the feather stamps, the little flourish stamps. Okay, and you definitely want to overlap your stamps with the tips of those impressions. And then again, in between your bottom, your middle. And then the last step in between, again, your flourishes, covering the tips of your 2 flourishes. And there's your pattern. Okay, now to finish this center pattern off, you're going to come in with your diamond again, and you're going to place your diamond right in the center of each of your stepped patterns.
And guys, if you're stamping or watching us, let us know if you have any questions, if you can clarify anything for you guys. Looks like Debbie has a question, possibly.
Okay, what's the question?
Let me see.
Do you see the questions?
She's trying to talk. I wonder if I can like unmute her really quick. We'll try this out.
There. Can you
There
hear
we
me
go.
now?
Yes, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Sorry.
It's
I
okay.
just don't get all this new technology very well.
Me, don't worry about it, Debbie. I don't either.
Well, I'm using all different stamps because I didn't get the stamps on the list. So I don't think I have that space. But
Is there
anyway, I just wanted, in case I have had questions, but I never know how to ask you. So I just unmute myself. Is that it?
Well, we let you unmute yourself this time, but normally we have a chat room, but you can text
Oh,
into
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, it's okay. If you DM us on social media, I'll teach you how to do it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll unmute her now.
Okay, so the next stamp we're going to use before we pull off this sticker is our eyelashes, okay? And those are only going to be used twice, okay? They're going to be used when you turn your block into a diamond pattern and you are horizontal. It's going to be used right in between your center line on the top and the bottom, okay? So you want to make sure, again, that your impression's facing you. All right, you're going to bring this down. Let me mark the center. Okay, and it's going to rest in the second circle. So the first circle has your diamond with your flourishes. That second circle that has your stepped design in the space of the 2 that you have on the side of your bracelet, that is where your eyelash stamp is going to go. Okay, so you want your line, your black line, your center line on your stamp lined up with the outer circle of the inside of the first circle. So let's pull this up. This right here, this circle right here is where you're going to hit the rim of that stamp.
Rita, before you stamp, we have a quick question from Kate.
Go ahead.
She's having trouble with the stamp sliding on the guide. Do you have any tips?
You really see, if you notice that mine slid, one of mine slid. So what you need to do is just have to be mindful of the slipping, because with the metal on the plastic, when you have it placed down, put pressure on the stamp. Sort of like you're using rubber stamps and you're putting pressure on your stamp and you're pressing it into the metal. Okay, so again, black center line lined up with the outskirts of the first circle. Give it a hit. And there is your first eyelash stamp. And then you're going to turn your block around. Okay. And do the same thing, lining your black line up, your center line up with the outskirts of the black circle line.
And people are asking if you can hold it up to the camera, if you can see it, or if you're possible to hold up the pattern that you drew on the stamp guide.
I'm going to try to do this a lot easier. Sorry. All right. I guess
while Rita's drawing this pattern really quickly, every tool and supply that Rita is using during this class can be found at Michael's, online or inside their store. So as Rita's drawing, I'll just like talk it through. Rita put the diamond.
I can't talk and do this.
Rita put the diamond in the center of the stamp guide. And on the points of each diamond in the first circle, she put the flourish stamp that looks like maybe like a leaf. And then in between the flourish stamp on the second and third ring,
Hold on a minute.
she put the steps, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, between the second and third ring, she put the step stamp.
Okay. So it looks like that. And then your diamond pattern again is in the center of that step stamp.
So for Virginia, that's what, or Rose, that was your question. The second placement of the diamond is in between the middle of each step.
All right. And your eyelash goes right there. All right. I'm just going to put that here. And then we are going to pull our sticker off of our metal. And sometimes you get that sticker stuck in impressions. I suggest taking a tweezer and just pulling them out, trying not to scratch the metal. Now, don't get discouraged if you have a little bit of a mess up, because I'm telling you, once we color these in and we bend them, they look very different. Okay. A wooden toothpick works great as well. There we go. And now with our center line, I have a little trick to show you guys. All right, and you definitely want to make sure that you have all of your sticker out of your impression, or your enamel will not stick in the stamped areas. Right. take a paper towel. Just give it a little rub. Let's see what else is stuck in there. Almost done. Okay. So now with your Sharpie marker, come in and run it right down that same line that you had it. And take your marker and just clean it off. All right, it's okay if it stays inside your impressions, but just make sure that it comes off your metal. All right, and that is the design that you should have for your center. Now we're going to take our ruler again. Place that down, okay? And we're gonna mark it at 2 and 4. Okay, you're gonna come down, go across. Okay, now we're gonna try this pattern with no sticker. All right, I have faith in you guys that we could do this. So you're gonna come in after you drew your lines, and you're going to mark it at the center again, just with a little dot. All right, I'm just gonna make my dot a little bit bigger. So our next step is we're gonna take our diamond pattern, okay? And now by this time you should have your lines drawn in your center. I want you to place it right on that dot, okay? Let me pull this up a little bit. Place it on the dot. Take your hammer, hit it once, forward, back, side, side, and it's right in your center, okay? You're gonna come on your other side, same thing. So now you have 2 diamond patterns, okay? One on each side of your large mandala pattern, okay? You're gonna come in with the line marked for your middle on your flourish, and you're going to place it down, covering the, can you guys see this better without the sticker on it? You could just say yes, so Jen and I know. Yes.
Maria says yes.
Okay. So we're gonna come in, and you're gonna see that, where is my little pointer? You're gonna see that the curvature of your stamp, okay, you're gonna cover the tip of your impression, okay? Still lining that up with your center line. Come in the center, place it down. Same thing. So you're gonna hit all 4 sides of your rectangle, of your diamond pattern, sorry. Same thing on the opposite side. This mandala, no, this is a Southwest mandala. Okay, come down, cover a little bit of the tip of your impression. So now you have 2 flourishes along the side of your center, okay? Come back in with your Sharpie marker, run it down the center. And just rub that right off. It's like a magic eraser. All right. So our next step is we're going to do a pattern again. Jen, what do you think we should do? You think I should do it with the sticker or without? Should I do one with and one without?
I think you should, yeah, do the first one without.
Okay,
Or,
and then the second.
And then with, I guess.
It's just it's just hard to see. Yeah.
It's the glare on the translucent paper.
Yeah, this is too much of a glare. So again, you're gonna come in the center and I want you to mark it. At 5. On each side. Okay. And we are going to do a full pattern. So I'm gonna come in right here. So this pattern I'm gonna do without the sticker, and then the one on my left I'll do with the sticker. All right, so you're gonna come in with your diamond pattern, place it in the center, give it a nice hit. All right, then we're gonna come in, and instead of using the points of this one, see the flat sides of the diamond? That's what we're gonna line up. So you're gonna come in, middle line in the center of your diamond. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with my stepped pattern. And I'm actually going to use the reverse side of this. So I'm going to turn it backwards. Okay. And I'm just going to mark my center on the opposite side. So here is the front. There is the back. And I'm going to bring that right in the center of the space in between both flourishes.
And Rita, is it okay if your stamp hangs off the edge of the blank?
Yes, it is fine if your stamp hangs off the edge. Gives it a border look. Okay. Then you're going to come in with your diamond pattern and you're going to place that right in the center of your stepped pattern. Then I'm going to come in with the eyelash stamp. And again, with this pattern, I'm going to use the back end. So this is the front, this is the back. And I'm going to line that up with my flourish. And this is going to go off your blank. All right, so this one was finished. Now we're going to use the sticker. All right. So we're going to take another sticker, guys. Okay. And we are going to place it in, I'm going to take that dot off. Okay. In the center. Okay. And what's good about this is that center line on your sticker will run right into your flourishes. So your center line will run right through your bracelet. Okay. So I'm going to come in right at the center. There we go. Now I'm going to put dots everywhere I'm stamping. Maybe that'll be better, Jen?
Yeah, I think so. But guys, remember, this is a bracelet that's unique to you. So Rita's showing you her take on the mandala, but you guys can mix and match the stamps together to create your own mandala pattern.
You could also use any kind of, you don't want to, you want to incorporate other stamps, definitely use other design stamps in it. Completely up to you. Like I said, this was just a simple pattern that we came up with, but definitely, definitely design your own. All right. So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to use my flourish and I'm going to turn my block. I'm going to line up and then twist. How are everyone's impressions? Are you getting full impressions?
I see a so-so on video.
So, okay.
So impression, or maybe one side is clearer than the other. Can you kind of troubleshoot that for us, Rita?
Yes. So again, with the tilting and the tapping, I'm going to just use another bracelet. I'm just going to put this to the side for a second. Actually, you know what? Let me grab another block. Okay. So Lisa's using, is it Lisa that asked that question?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Who's, oh, Shelly. Oh, I see a hand.
Okay. So Shelly, keep in mind that hitting aluminum and hitting copper or brass, these are harder metals. So you're definitely gonna have to press down. So I pulled the camera back. Press down on it, okay? Now while you're pressing down, take your hammer, hit it at the top, back, forward, side. Now, that should make sure that you have a full impression. If you don't, and you're getting something like this, all right, where it's half, Once you've pulled your sticker off, if you're using the sticker guide, what I want you to do is just really favor the deeper part. So what I mean by that is I stamp the bracelet and I'm very heavy on my left side. All right. So I'm going to take my stamp on my right and just move it over. And you'll see that your stamp falls inside of that impression. Okay. Now, once you feel that impression, it might take a little finesse. Once you feel that it's in there firmly, okay, and you have less of an impression on your right side, you're going to favor the right side of that stamp. And then you'll get that full impression. So if you have half impressions, there is a way to make them full. You just have to have the patience to feel that. And if you see, it falls right in there. There we go. All right. Take that bracelet back. Now we're going to, now your stamp is going to go right here. Okay, your step stamp. Again, remember, we're not doing the front. Oh, I know, Linda, patience isn't in my vocabulary either. So you're going to bring that down, lining it up with that center line. Okay. And there is my steps pattern. All right. Then I'm going to come back in with my diamond pattern right on that center line. Place it down. Give it a nice hit. Eventually, guys, you won't need to use that tilt and tap because you'll know how hard to hit your stamps. Okay? Then we're going to come in with the eyelash stamp. Okay? Brass and copper are basically the same. They have the same hardnesses, so they're the same. Okay? Aluminum is a very soft metal. So is alchemy. So this is the eyelash stamp. We're going to use the back of it. And we're going to go right in between your stepped patterns on the bracelet. Okay, and that's going to be on the outskirts of your center circle. All right, so you're going to take your sticker off. Actually, we forgot one steps pattern. Don't take your sticker off yet. You're going to overhang your steps pattern on your center line. Okay. And again, we're using the back side of your steps pattern. That's going to come right in the center of your bracelet. It's a center line right where your diamond pattern is. Okay, now you can pull your sticker off. And then I'm just pulling the sticker out of the impressions, making sure to get it all out there. We had someone suggest a toothpick, which will work great and it won't mar your metal. It won't scratch it either. If you have a bead awl, you could use that.
I also saw a cuticle pusher backer stick too.
Oh yeah, you could do that. I actually have one by the computer, but I'm not going to get up and get it. I have to say, I have not gone and gotten a manicure in forever. I've been doing it since we've been homebound, Jen. And I kind of don't ever want to go back.
I haven't done my nails since Thanksgiving of last year, so I'm
I
almost on a year.
know. It's like weird. I'm just not interested. So everyone deals with my bad cuticles and my weirdly painted fingernails. All right, let's see. So I'm pulling these out. Now let's see by a show of thumbs up or yes or a no, how many people like the sticker guides and how many people like, okay, so let's do sticker guides first. Sticker guides.
Linda said yes. That's all I got for videos. MB, Rose, Virginia said yes. So did Alicia, Lynn.
So they like this. So you like the sticker guides. How many people like doing it without the sticker guides? Both ways. Lynn likes it both ways. Let's see. Oh, I could see everybody's comments now. Both ways. Okay. All right. Kathy loves those sticker guides. All right. For now, you use a sticker, Alicia. Linda said she's flexible. Okay.
I think it depends on the pattern.
It does depend on the pattern. So now to make it your own, you could either leave it the way we stamped it or you could add to it. I always like to add to my mandalas once the stickers are off because I take a look at it, I turn it around, and I see where I want to put some stamps. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and I'm just going to put some stamps where I want them, just to embellish it a little bit. All right. So now this is the time that you guys could take. You could ask questions, embellish yours a little bit more. I'm just going to build onto my pattern a little bit. Is everybody getting the hang of hitting it once, or are we using the tilt and tap a lot?
So Rosanna has a question with the hammer. So
Okay.
should you use a brass head hammer or can you use a regular toolbox household hammer?
Okay, so first two things that you need in metal stamping. The first thing is your steel block, okay? You definitely need a brass head hammer for the simple fact that when you use a regular household hammer and it's steel, when you hit steel on steel, it could do one of two things. It'll either break your stamp, okay, or it can spark, and you definitely don't want to spark. The other thing is it leaves a ghost impression. So if you're stamping with a steel hammer, it bounces. So you get something that looks a little like this. You get your impression, and then you get a little slight ghost impression up at the top, okay? The reason why we suggest using a brass head hammer is that brass is soft, and it absorbs the shock of you hitting that stamp and leaves a really nice and even impression without that ghost impression up top. So that's why we use a brass hammer.
And I'm going to answer a couple questions. Maria, Alchemy is a tin-based alloy that ImpressArt has developed. It has similar components to pewter as well as sterling silver, but without the price tag. So it's a cheaper metal, has some weight to it, and it's hypoallergenic, so people are not allergic to it. What other questions?
How are we doing on time, Jen?
You do have 5 minutes, so I would.
Oh, so you know what? I'm going to stop embellishing.
Yeah. Virginia, I think Michaels carries another Mandala pattern of ours, but on our own website, we do carry a handful of them, so you can hop on over there to check them out.
Okay. So we're up to the enamel part of this, okay? And you're going to take your cap off carefully. You're going to run your marker over your impressions. Really get it in there. This is a really light blue-green, so you really want to fill those impressions with that enamel. All right. And then I'm going to fan it a little bit to get it to dry.
And Shelly Michaels is recording this Zoom, so after we end, they'll put it up on their website, I would think, in like a week or 2 for you to watch it again.
Okay. Once it's dry, you'll see it gets like a matte color on the copper that's not stamped. You're going to take a dry household paper towel. Don't put anything on it. Okay. You're going to dab. Okay. And lightly wipe. Doesn't it look very different when you have enamel in your impressions? Okay. So you don't have to worry about it being so perfect. All right, because we're bending it. And when it's on a curve, you'll hardly see any kind of imperfections that you have in your patterns. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come in with your bending bar. I'm just going to place my pliers on the side. Okay, I'm going to clear my workspace off a little bit. I'm going to bring you guys back. All right, here we go. This is the best part. You're going
my favorite part.
Favorite part. You're going to make sure that your impressions are facing upward. You're going to place your bracelet in the channel. Place your thumb firmly against that bracelet and your bar. Then you're going to take your hand and firmly bring that over. Okay? Try not to overbend it. You want it curved and then flat. Then you're going to come back in with the opposite side, doing the same thing, putting pressure on your bracelet, taking the palm of your hand, bringing that right over. And here is your bracelet. Now, this gives it, the bar gives it more of a traditional flat top cuff. Okay? I personally like it more oval and rounded. So I'm going to come in the center. I'm going to make sure that the curvature of my bracelet is going to match the curvature of my nylon jaws. Okay? I start in that center, just like that. Okay? And then I give it a really nice aggressive squeeze. And that forms that bracelet and brings it right in. And then I'm going to continue to move my pliers, move, squeeze, squeeze. And this will knock in the ends of your bracelet because you see they're curved here and they're kind of sticking out straight, and that will fall off your wrist. You come in here, okay, squeeze, and just follow it all the way around. So it leaves it a really nice oval looking cuff. All right. If you want to shine it up, you could definitely use your white buffing block, which mine is very dirty, but it's supposed to be white. Okay. Take your block, run it over. Okay, and you'll see how nicely polished that is. Can you guys see the difference between the shine of the right side and the dullness? See that dullness here? So you definitely want to invest in a buffing block, and that will shine that right up. This is also great for pieces that have tarnished, because remember guys, you're stamping on raw copper. It brings it to a really high polished finish. Okay, it's great. It does tarnish, but the good thing about working with raw metals is you could always polish it up. Okay, and it's all right if you like the first way and you don't like it fits your wrist better. It really depends, personal preference. All right, so now you'll see this one was a little bit more, you know, this oxidizes. It oxidizes to a more of a muted rose gold color.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when you polish it up, it's a shiny. So I'll just polish this one up really quick so you could see the difference. So that's the matte, that's the shiny part. If you want to make your impressions a little bluer, you could always run your marker over it again, giving it a second and a third coat if you feel the need. Oh, no show and tell today. We're running out of time, Linda. Maybe next week. All right. Any other questions before we end? Because I know we're running out of time. Any particular type of buff and block from Impress Art? So Virginia, you're gonna wanna use we have two. We have one that's a buffing block that brings it to a high finish. And then we have another one, well, that's a buffing block, it just looks dark. And then we have another sanding block, and that's used to either matte your blanks for a matte finish, and the coarse side is to if you have a sharp end that you need to knock down. So I do suggest getting both pads. All right. Oh, show and tell. Oh, Linda, I thought you meant show and tell my studio. We are going to show and tell. Jen, are you ready?
I am ready. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap up. If we didn't get to your question, please, please, please find us on social media and ask us so we can answer them. I know we're running out of time, but this is our favorite part of the class. I'm so excited.
We get very excited, Jen and I, to see everybody and their projects and what they look like, so we could put a name, face to the name that we see. So I have Linda.
Don't have your camera on, but we're stamping with us and want to turn your camera on quickly to show us your piece, we're going to start swiping through and let's see what you create.
Ooh, Linda, that's great.
Cool.
Lisa, let's see who else.
Oh, Kate, nice job, Kate.
Oh, I have to get to Kate. Wait, I'm so slow. Oh, Kate Daniel. Kate Daniel. You were one of our winners, weren't you?
You won our multi challenge. Woo! Oh, Shelly's. Oh, that looks so good.
My Carly girl, there you are.
I want to see these super close up. So if you guys can take
Shelly, that's great. Look at Shelly. Look at her setup there. Shelly, I'm coming to play at your house.
If you guys can take a photo of your piece and post it on social or send it to us so we can actually see all the details, because my phone's too tiny. But
I
they
know,
look
I can't see
awesome.
everything. Well, they look fantastic. Oh, someone made a ring. Shelly, you made a ring too. I'm very impressed. Very impressed, ladies.
Alicia, nice
Alicia.
job. Oh my God, I get so excited. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
I know
Thank you.
travel. This is like our exciting part. When we start traveling again, come to our
Let's see,
class.
Debbie. Hold that up closer. I can't see. As I'm like, I think if I move my face closer.
I know you're gonna. Nice job.
Good job. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining Jen and I. We know it's late, but we appreciate you guys taking this class with us. And I know it was a little bit hectic, but definitely, I want to say in November, we'll be bringing back Mandala Tuesdays. So definitely tune in to hang out with Jen and I on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30. For some reason, it's just easier to do it to show you the stickers that way. So I hope everyone enjoyed the class and hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, before you guys go, our next Michael's class is on October 22nd. It's men's jewelry. We will be stamping a dog tag. And then I don't think they posted it yet, but keep it on your calendar because November 5th, we're doing a wall hanging.
Wall hangings. We love wall hangings. I love
I
wall
don't think
hangings.
they posted it yet, but that's going to be the next class.
All right.
So,
well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in for the hour with us. If you need anything, find us on social media and ask any questions you have.
Yep, and we'll answer them. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.